Good Monday, everybody. How you doing? Oh, gosh, September the 11th, 2023.
Yeah.
Wow. Big day for a lot of reasons. Yes, so, you know, all I will say is what is remembered lives.
Those who are remembered live. Yes, we'll open the show with that.
Indeed, indeed.
A lot of documentaries and things to watch this time of year.
Yes.
And a lot of thinking to do, I suppose. And I will say for me personally, things really did change that day. And I haven't really gone back to the city for any length of time since then.
For sure.
I think it's just the heaviness or sadness, but
there is.
We all must work on healing, so...
Healing is the only thing. Love is the strongest force in the entire universe. We must never forget that. That's the most powerful thing. Anyway,
so who's with us today?
I suppose let's see if I can make this thing work. And
oh my
gosh, right, we've got a bunch of peeps.
Yes.
Hello, bunch of peeps. We have Gilda. Hello, Gilda. Mama Lena. Hello, Mama Lena. Hello, Anna. Hello, Cass. Hello, Helena. And anybody else who's watching us, just chime in, say hi, and we'll say hi right back at you.
Yeah.
So there you have it.
Wow.
There you have it. So, gosh, you know, interesting times astrologically. And I know it pains Lisa to say, I kind of told you so, but,
Yeah.
You mentioned seismic events. And
we're not done.
I
Hi,
guess.
Courtney.
Oh, hello, Courtney.
We need Reiki bodies.
Okay.
Thursday night is the third week of internship, so.
Well, there you go. That's good. Put a bit of healing in there.
Well, I'm just saying because I think she wants to master with this class, so it'd be nice to come get to know them a little bit.
Oh, well, there you go. Good.
Anyhow,
excellent. Super.
Yes, I hate to be right about bad things, and I did talk about Uranus or Uranus, however you want to say it, and I did say seismic activity, and now it's interesting because I was expecting it west coast of the U.S. But
rather than the north coast of Africa.
But what I will say, that same longitude, or is that latitude? I always get confused.
Latitude is distance above the equator. So if you're going around with a horizontal circle, that's latitude.
Latitude. All right.
Latitude.
So
it's just south of the Mediterranean, the high Atlas Mountains.
Morocco and Tucson are at the same number.
Are they? Latitude? Line of latitude?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not a very good geographer.
Anyway, well, that's astrocartography, isn't it? We're getting really into it, but
just mapping the stars there.
I don't think we're done with crazy climate stuff, sadly.
Yeah. I know we've got a hell of a hurricane in the Atlantic right now, which is going to strengthen again, probably to a Cat 5 as it gets in closer. And the jury's out as where that's going, to be honest. You know.
Yeah. So, what I have my little notes here saying we have to remember that Saturn is in Pisces. And that there's going to be a real focus on lessons to do with water.
How are your coastal defenses, eh? Yeah.
Well, I think that, again, this is kind of like hurricane-y stuff. And, if we're looking at things in a physical way, for reflections on 9/11, they say you will always remember what you were doing. I was feeling that everything was
weirdly good with the world. Resting on my couch, petting my cat Tigger, because Tiggers are wonderful things.
We were in the office. We had gone up in the office. We were both working at our desks, and we had no idea because we were head down in bookwork. And then Anton's sister called and said, "You guys didn't go to the city today, did you?" Because she knew we used to go quite often. And we said, no. And then she said, turn the TV on.
Then I got a call from a client in Guernsey in the Channel Islands, Marion, hoping we were okay.
Yeah.
Because, a lot of people don't realise that having New York as an address on your business card doesn't mean you're in Manhattan, you know.
Right. But a lot of the people that we were close to knew that we used to go into the city quite often.
Yeah.
Take people, tourists.
A very poignant time, it really is. And it's something you will never erase from your memory, and nor should you. To be honest, nor should you. But man's inhumanity to man is something that just amazes me. I don't know why I do know why we're all capable of being Nissian or Evnisian, aren't we? Each and every single one of us. So yeah. Anyway, pray let's let's lift the vibe a bit.
Well, I don't know if I can lift the vibe, but I can change the conversation to a different topic.
Now for something really interesting. Oh
All
no,
right.
run away.
Well, we all probably know as good witches that this new moon that's coming is the Vine new moon in Virgo.
Oh, well,
Because
there you go.
New moons always occur when the sun and the moon are in the same sign. And that's going to be happening here in the United States on the 14th. So
It's not far away.
there's always more than one player. And I talk a lot about astrology being a language.
Yeah, well, it is logos,
Right.
isn't it? It's
So,
written, literally.
we
written.
try to learn like one word things for each planet. And we know that Jupiter is the planet of expansion. But Jupiter is also the planet of knowing and wisdom,
Higher thinking, eh?
right? And then Saturn, we could say lessons.
A restriction.
And then Neptune, we could say the psyche or that higher awareness. And Pluto, intensity. So we have knowing, wisdoms, lessons, psyche, intensity. And all of those planets are outer planets, and they're all retrograde. So
Everything's
so they're
retrograde.
all like really set where they are, right? They're setting up camp, and they're saying, know this, learn this, sort out this.
Learn this. Another
Focus,
learning experience.
focus intently on this. So they're all doing things obviously within as above, so below, but they're working individually with each of us as well. So you want to find out where they are visiting in your own chart to see what it is you're supposed to know, learn, be aware of, or be focused on. But they're all kind of creating this I don't want to use the word stillness because it's nothing but still. Everybody's saying it's like that duck that looks really calm on the top of the water and is paddling like crazy underneath. They're inditing that space.
It's like, to write something.
Okay. Now,
It's interesting, the word indictment, because we don't use that typically in English a lot. But we use the word charge, and they mean exactly the same thing. So you are charged
but we
with
don't
blah,
want
blah,
people
blah.
to confuse charge with like the Knight of Swords charge ahead. This is an indelible, right? This is an indicting time. And, no pun intended. As above, so below.
Well, here's another thing. Those pretty plates that you like, which are like silver or gold, and you place them underneath a plate at the dinner table. They're called chargers.
Yes, because they intensify the look. What do you think they are?
It's charged. It's placed upon it. It's laid before you. This is what it means. It's like, and if you look at, I'm talking about indicting, and I can't help but immediately go to the Eight of Pentacles, and that guy, actually indicting the Pentacles, and that's it. It's like it really is indelibly written. It is like there. It is permanent.
Right,
it is
well,
that
and-
energy that is placed upon it.
And he's
hence
doing all of
charged,
the jobs of all of the planets, including the Earth at that point. He's faceting, he's creating, he's the marketer, Anyway, Mars in Libra, so that's this force for justice, is moving towards that Pluto T-square the north nodes.
Oh dear.
So this is another push for...
hopefully it's restorative justice.
It's a push for clarity and liberty and seeing things for what they are. Now, Venus, thankfully, has gone direct in Leo. And Venus says, again, what do you value? What are you attached to financially? And Venus also says, hey, what are you doing with working on your relationships? Relationships to self, relationships in general, and relationship to things. Where are you standing and what place are you occupying? Now we have Jupiter at 15 degrees Taurus. So that's the midway point in the fixed sign. So if you have anything at 15 degrees Leo or Scorpio, it's squaring that. Sorry, it's Leo or Aquarius, it's squaring that. And if you have anything at 15 degrees Scorpio, it's opposing that. So I'm very lucky to have my ascendant at 15 degrees Leo. So that means Jupiter is squaring that.
That's about where my sun sign is, isn't it?
Yeah.
15 degrees.
And then if you have anything 15 degrees Virgo or Capricorn, it's making a trine. So again, Jupiter comes along and says, what can I expand? What can I bring abundance to? What can I help you know more clearly? What can I give you wisdom about? All right. I think that we're also this week going to see a lot of people talking about empaths and shadow work. And again, I'm not trying to take anything away from people who are truly empathic or who are truly working on their shadow stuff. I just want to let people recognize that those two things ain't no joke.
No, oh God, no.
I mean, it's become like buzzwords. Oh, I'm an empath.
Yeah, but there's a little more to it than that.
If you were truly a deep empath, you'd have been knocked on your ass by 3,000 people, 4,000 people, being taken off the planet or deeply injured. So I think there are people who are very compassionate and very in touch with their feelings and very much able to read other people's feelings.
Yeah.
But, you don't just become an empath by being in touch with things. Also, I think that Pluto is really pushing us all to kind of look within and work on our dark side stuff.
Yeah, I think there's a big difference between empathy per se, and all of us have the capability to be empathetic, or should have,
We all we've got to have compassion, or we're not going to make it.
Empathy is like, understanding what somebody's feeling, not necessarily feeling what they're feeling. Whereas somebody who's like, in my mind, for how I would define this, as somebody who is truly an empath actually can't step aside from feeling what people feel, and it's almost like, like the curse of a shaman, in so much as it's a hell of a weight to try and carry around with you. It really is very, very difficult. But empathy is a wonderful quality. We should all do that. We should all, put yourself in somebody else's shoes, as they say. Everybody's a story we know nothing about. We all get wrapped up in our own worlds to a degree, don't we? And we seem to forget, that person has a story too. So, empathy is a good thing. It is definitely. Gosh, everybody's having a chat about everything here. Where are we? We've been. Helena says, people have been saying that word a lot lately. Empath. I mean, being a true empath is definitely crazy. I had insomnia the night before 9/11 and a terrible feeling. Yeah, maybe not empath, but I'm a Cancer, and feelings frequently overwhelm me. Too true. No,
Right,
I mean,
me too.
that's, yeah, I get it.
I shared with you guys the story of waking up 2:30 in the morning and putting the TV on, and the Fukushima thing was going on because I was just so stressed out.
I know.
And
we've been so antsy of late, haven't
well,
we? The
I
two,
think
it's just knowing that there's stuff
things are
happening.
coming to quite an interesting crescendo this year.
Mm.
All right. So, astronomically affecting the Earth this week, I think we're going to have to be very mindful of hurricanes.
In the plural.
Yeah.
Oh, lovely.
And storm surge and things that have to do with water.
Coastal stuff, yeah.
Well, no, even if you're inland, you may have issues with drinking water or groundwater, or
Flash
rain
flooding.
where there isn't ever rain, or no rain where there usually is rain and now your well doesn't work. Or I think there's going to be a big focus for this new moon
On water.
on water.
Water.
And I think that, like I said, tidal surges, just an intense focus on hurricanes and water. Now, we certainly could have another seismic episode, but I feel like this week is more geared toward wet weather or lack of wet weather. Okay. Now.
Oh, cheery.
Speaking of feeling overwhelmed, I actually have the word overwhelmed written here. Okay.
Overwhelming energy.
All right.
No.
So that's what I think is going to happen planetarily. What I think we can be prepared for is doing some really wonderful magic for this new moon.
Okay.
Because in spite of all the overwhelming stuff, this Virgo new moon says, sharpen your view.
Sharpen your view.
Right? Sun and moon.
That's a Virgo quality if ever there was one.
Yeah. Sun and moon are together. They are opposing Neptune, and Neptune is the psyche. So it's saying, meet me in the middle here. What can you discern? In fact, a really great word for Virgo is discernment. But sharpen your view and get organized. I want you to quote this question to yourself this week whenever you're doing something, especially if you feel overwhelmed or stressed out. Okay? So my words for this week: when you're doing something and you feel overwhelmed or stressed out, I want you to stop like those stationary planets, and I want you to say these Virgo words. How could this be easier? Okay? How could this be easier? Could I just rearrange my task list? Could I organize this better? Could I be focused in smaller steps so that I create a bigger game?
It's a good way to deal with overwhelming energy.
Right?
Break it down into pieces.
So our theme for this week is, how could this be easier? Right? So that we don't feel like the little duck who's trying to look all cool and calm and is exhausting themselves under the water. So deep breath, step back, sharpen your view, your perspective. How could this be easier? And I think that will help you gear up for this. Now, the other thing that's really cool is potential. Anytime we have a new moon, we have a new potential. And we have the womb here, Virgo the Virgin. And later on this month we'll talk about Mabon or Albin Elvid the height of water. But this new moon says, plant a seed, right? It's the fall, not the spring, but it's your time to plant a seed, start a new habit, a new routine, a new way of organizing, a new way of doing something.
The plant a seed is the best time. The fall is the time to plant trees, things that are going to last, you know. These are not the time to plant your annual flowers, you know, which are just adorn something and look pretty for a while. This is permanent stuff, you know. So planting trees now is a good time to really plant some serious changes in your lifestyle, perhaps.
So Virgo says, get to the bottom of it. Dig. Ask questions that are uncomfortable. Find out the facts, because you know. Not to be mean to Virgo, but Virgo wants to be right. And in order for Virgo to be right, they have to find all of the facts.
It does help.
Now, the tricky part with it, again, is that Neptune opposition to the sun and the moon, which says, oh, your head is so foggy. Are you sure those are the facts? So again,
so you're
discernment.
Being gaslighted by Neptune.
Literally, yeah. Literally, trying to fog up the facts. And Virgo's ruling planet is Mercury, and we should not forget that Mercury is also retrograde at 6 degrees, so see where in your chart that's happening. And Mercury, of course, is in Virgo, the ruling planet, so again, there's this push for truth.
I know, but mercurial, you think about what the qualities of being mercurial are. They're so like, it's almost like very fleeting and changing and fast.
A little nitpicky, too.
And yeah, like leaping at things almost. That kind of, you know, flying at things sometimes. And yeah, so perhaps more deliberate. Watch out for the...
All right, so yeah. Mercury rules Virgo and Gemini.
Right.
So Virgo is the earth, the grounded Mercury energy. That's a little more methodical, where Gemini
just
the
tends
airy
to run off
one,
on the mouth.
Well, Gemini tends to just keep asking questions, and you know, finally you have to say, well, I don't know if it's any of your business.
I forget who did that song now. Somebody will no doubt remind us. And I'm asking why. I'm not looking for an answer, but I'm asking why.
Enigma. It was Enigma. I'm asking why. Anyway. All right. So we also have to take into consideration that Saturn will be opposing. It's a wider opposition. And you know, we could look for health issues and health diagnoses, especially that have to do with water, lymphatic.
Swelling.
Swellings. All
Water
right.
retention.
So big week. We could still have seismic activity. That's still on the chart, so to speak. But now a shift or a focus to things more to do with ocean tides,
well, yeah, I was going to
tidal
say,
waves,
you know,
tsunamis,
we're getting closer
storm
to
surge.
the equinox. These are where the spring and fall tides are at the highest, you know. And new moons and full moons are when, you know, in fact, a new moon's full tide can be pretty darn impressive in terms of height, simply because it's operating in consort with the energy of the sun, and it's closest to the earth, and it's, you know, closest to the equator, so to speak, and so has got the most direct kind of tidal pull on it. It's, yeah.
Right. And
some
then,
strong...
again, we as personal reactions or responses to this don't want to get sucked under in the riptide, you know. We don't want to get tsunamied. We don't want to get overwhelmed. It is a lot of intense energy, but the best way to overwhelm the overwhelming is by offering love and compassion. Right?
Sure, that's the good emotional antidote.
Instead of getting overwhelmed, find your depth of compassion. But really think about what's a seed that you want to plant for this new moon on Thursday. What's a new really good habit you could offer yourself, whether it's something physically or financially or emotionally, what new thing can you offer yourself as a new habit or a seed that you want to plant? And be compassionate and ask yourself, how could this be easier?
How could it be easier? That's it. That's a really good way, practical way when things are overwhelming. Don't look at the enormity of the task. Don't look at how am I going to deal with this absolutely massive part of stuff. Just tuck in and do it a bit at a time, and set yourself these little minor victories. Mrs. B and I were heavily involved in processing an awful lot of our harvest, and
we had
yesterday,
a huge garden harvest yesterday.
And it got so late we both gave up at the end of the day in terms of washing up.
We never go to bed without cleaning our kitchen, but we had
a monster pile of everything.
The entire stack over here, things that were drying, and an entire stack over here, things that still needed washing, and we just said,
we were canning until late, and everything takes time to cool down. You just can't.
We made sauce, we made salsa, we made stewed tomatoes. I don't even know what else. We just
some cool stuff, and you cooked dinner all at the same time then. But so yeah, we and just this morning, rather than look at the enormity of the thing, and this was like a pretty impressive pile.
We had our canner.
What have we been running as a line chef here? Yes. So
beans. We processed beans. Too.
So it was just like do it a bit at a time. So I said, I'll do this and I'll put that away. I'll do this and I'll put that away. And before you know it, there you go. Job done. All of it. Everything's put away. Everything's neat and tidy. And
we can start all over again.
And we can start round 2 of extreme harvest processing. I think maybe you planted too many tomatoes. That's all I'm saying.
Sauce is good.
Pounds and pounds and pounds and pounds of tomatoes.
And I also dried sage and purple basil, and then dried it enough so you could
And you made some basil oil.
And I made green basil cooking oil. Yeah.
Infused cooking oil. That's gonna be nice. Anyway, sorry, we digress.
Well, we're not foodies or anything. We were foodies before that became a popular term.
Oh God, yeah. Can you tell? So I just want to say this much. The 2 words we talk about, disaster and catastrophe, both have their roots in the stars. Disaster.
Aster.
Aster, the stars are poorly aligned. Catastrophe, the stars are poorly aligned. I will tell you there is no such thing as a catastrophe. You adapt the work that you're doing to suit the available astrological energy.
Right, you could harness Mars right now. You could harness that Mars is truth and justice, right? Mars in Libra. Harness that to see the truth for yourself.
To cut through some of the crap as well. And it's a great time to be, positively self-critical. How can I do things better? How can I make my life easier?
Mars is passion. So again, you can come to that compassion through passionate energy, seeing the truth and not being overwhelmed. So you always have tools available.
I really forget this super wise person who once said that wisdom is knowledge applied with compassion. And I thought, ooh, that's interesting. And it is. It's like, because I always consider wisdom is knowledge is just knowing stuff, but wisdom is knowing how to apply that knowledge. But I guess applying that knowledge with compassion is obviously part of that, because it's for the greater good when compassion comes into it, isn't it? It's for the greater good. It's not just all about me. And so Courtney says she's got a Virgo rising and she's always trying to get organised. I'm too busy to get organised. What? It's almost true though, isn't it? I don't know. Not a lot of people with us this morning. This afternoon, this noon. It's
a tough day.
Yeah, for a lot of people, for a lot of reasons. I know that. I know that. We were, because another hat I wear, I'm chair of the PATV committee in New Paltz, and we were going to meet today, but my colleague Bob said, not 9/11, that's just wrong. So, okay, I get it. It's a difficult day. I wonder if the day would ever be memorialised or not. Really, I don't know.
You mean like Memorial Day?
Yeah, well, like making it a public holiday, but it's it would be nice if there was something that we could do that you could celebrate that day with, instead of focusing on the loss and the suffering and the pain and the destruction, but try
it's
to
certainly
restore
united
it.
People.
Restorative, yeah. Restorative justice. That's, do something to make things right. Do something, practice a random act of kindness. Somewhere, something, Put some food in the free food fridge, or,
Something.
hold a door for somebody. Yeah, like Veterans Day.
Yeah.
Interesting.
All right. We have a few people to do cards
We
for.
do. We could do that, couldn't we?
Yeah, because we have a lot going on, and then we have astrology class tonight, so the day's going to get cut
The
short.
days are just packed. I've got a bunch of book work to do as well. I just do.
Oh,
But we'll get to. We'll do. We won't be overwhelmed. We'll just break it up. Who we got first? Who's first on the plot?
Gilda.
Oh, you might want to light a candle again.
Oh.
I think you might want a new candle. I think we've
Well,
expired
there's an
that
awful
candle.
lot of wax there.
I suggest you might have put it on the bottom of another candle.
Maybe it's tilted. No, this was a water rabbit. That's why it has two colors.
So Gilda. Magician. I can find you a candle, but I have to get up to do it.
That's all right. We'll be okay.
Prior planning and preparation. I love it.
Well, it looked fine. Look at all the candle that's left.
Okay. I rest, mate. You see this?
Yeah?
You see how that? And you see that? That's why that candle burnt out.
Okay.
You can't stuff it on top. You've got to clean the
I'm sure that
wick retainer
they
out.
all need to know this. Why don't you focus, Professor?
Shut up! Shut up!
When he's become Captain Obvious from now on, I've decided to call him the Professor.
Oh,
because
stop it!
He just professes these things, and you're like,
I
never would have thought of that. How amazing!
Oh gosh, who's this? Amanda. Hi, Lisa and Anton finally made it back to alive. Well, hello, Amanda. Thank you for joining us.
Hello.
All right, so Gilda. As above, so below. As within, so without. As the universe, so the soul. I love this card. Infinite resources are actually available at your disposal. It's just, you've just got to manifest. You've got to align with the energies of where you want to be. You've got to see. You've got to know what good looks like to make good happen, if that makes sense. You've got to have a clear image in your mind, not really confused or all over the place. You've got to have that beautiful, clear... Okay, everybody's sending us pictures of candles now. Thank you. Ha, ha, ha. You're cruel, but we love you. So clear picture in your mind. Creative visualization, I would suggest, is the way to go here. If you don't know what good looks like, you can't get there. So have a very clear picture in your mind. It's like your ideas become your thoughts, and that thought has to take on shape. It has to, be figured through and worked up into a plan. And that's how it comes into being, rather than just, an idea without a plan is just a wish. But this is active manifestation. And this is a really, really good card in terms of actually being able to make things happen, because the infinite resources, infinite. That means you can't run out of it. It's there. So just do.
All right, Gilda. Remember, magic is about believing it and receiving it, right? If you believe it, you're going to see it manifest. If you don't believe it, it can't manifest. So I think this week for you is really about energy follows thought. And put a little thought into what your new moon magic is going to be, the seed that you want to plant. Get things clear and organized, at least even just a small altar or sacred space where you can feel really comfortable, and work your magic. This is a really good week to believe it and see it.
I don't believe it. That is why you fail.
I'm up next for Anna. Her card's
We
way over here.
Oh, it looks like Savannah's joined us
Yep,
as well.
I got her down.
Okay.
This is Anna.
Okay. You start.
Dun, da, da, da. This is an interesting kind of new beginning. I'm given the image of a person in the jungle with a machete, like hacking their way to a new path. And we know that this is the sword of control, or like taking up, you know, a place of honor and intelligence, or this yod. But I feel like, you know, you've been pushing and pushing towards a new path, and I feel like now you have a really sharp tool, and maybe that's your ability to sharpen your wisdom and look. But I feel like you're going to just hack those last few brambles and things that are trying to hold you back. And I think you're going to, the new moon is going to be a turning point for you to find that new way.
I love this card, Ace of Swords. It reminds us that we are not passengers in our lives, Anna. Time to wrest back the sword of control. And it's really interesting that we've got Olive here, and we've got like giant kelp or something here. So there's that energy.
All life comes from the sea.
All right then. Sargasso Sea. It's all about breeding eels. No, it's not. What are we talking about? She sent me off in the weeds, or the seaweed, as the case may be. But yeah, no. I guess this is about energies, melding of energies as well. Because obviously you see those two colours on the sword. So sometimes opposing energies. I mean, swords divide, yes. But again, blending or melding those energies, separating energies and then bringing them back together, recombining them if necessary, is how we make things work. So it's very much about not being a passenger, but doing. What is this card? Always conjures up King Arthur to me. Well, there you go. All you need now is some coconuts. You'll be away.
Well, King Arthur did help a lot of people conquer a lot of their issues.
You think about what Arthur is. It's bear, isn't it? The energy of the bear. Fascinating.
The strong, silent one. You're up next to Cass.
All right, then. All right, Cass, my Leo friend. Good card. Lots to do, lots of batting down. Don't let the problems get on top of you, because you are definitely towering above them. Very much a bit of a game of whack-a-mole here, but I see this very much as an improvement in status through being responsive, to things that need to be taken care of. And if you take care of them, you deal with them, you do really well. And I think it's good. Just it's a busy time, but you know. May you live in interesting times, as the saying.
I don't know. This week there's been a ton of kind of clairaudient stuff happening for me. I've been hearing different names and things, and when he chose this card for you, Cass, the theme to good times came into my head.
I don't even know that.
It's like keeping your head above water, making your way when you can. Anyway, so I think there might be some interesting information listening to the theme to good times. And we're lucky we can just Google things like that. But I also think there's something going on with an offer or an opportunity for a new hobby/job. So I'm not saying that you're going to be hard pressed and that you have to take on this huge big career, but I'm saying there's something that you want to dabble in that I think you could also earn money from, and I feel like it involves someone inviting you to work with them, and I think that it will kind of just blend into what you want to do quite well. So don't think that you can't handle another opportunity. I know that you got a lot going on.
All right.
What do we got here?
I don't know.
unites as well as divides.
I think we're talking about swords.
Oh, talking about the Ace of Swords, because yes, it's blue and silver. All right, Helena, I go first.
Okay.
Okay.
Lather, rinse, repeat.
Well, no, it's always different depending on, do you see me getting employed? Oh, I'm sorry, Linda, we're not doing free readings. We're just doing readings for our channel members on our Magickal Mondays. Yes. But we do every once in a while have a night where we do readings for everybody. But same card, different person. All right. Helena, I really think this is about not getting overwhelmed. Understanding that you can take that deep breath and say, how could this be easier, right? So even though all these things are coming at you, you know, you got to pack this, you got to move this, you got to find this, you got to fix this, you got to do this, you got to eat this, you got to blah, blah, blah. All these things are coming at you. But you're like, that's okay. I got my tools. I got my weapon, and I'm going to keep them all at bay. And an interesting way to look at this is like, this guy is the conductor or the maestro. And as he moves his stick, what are you laughing about?
No, I'm just
as he moves his stick, he's getting all this chaos to come into line, right? So, you know, no matter how crazy things look, you can harness your energy and it's going to be okay. Because where is he standing? On fertile ground. So you're on firm footing. You've got that magical tool here. You can deal with it as long as you know you can deal with it. When you say things like, I can't, then you're inviting the wrong energy. So step back. How could this be easier? How can I organize this better? What seeds do I want to plant?
Take two. So, I don't know. I got that pragmatism in me grandfather, who I never met, coming through again here. And he say, hey, lass, even a kick up the arse is a step forwards. And it is sometimes, since something comes out of left field and it seems like a huge problem. But once you've dealt with the panic and the disorder and the chaos, and you batted down all that needs to be batted down, you go, bloody hell, that worked out rather well, you know. And so things
why
maybe
I was so stressed and worried about that, because it came out okay.
Sometimes, you know, even something that appears to be a raw deal or a moment of extreme difficulty can actually be a true blessing, but it's just disguised at the time, or we're just looking at it wrong. I mean, both of us went through traumatic split ups in our marriages, but we wouldn't be here now had that not have happened. So, you know, sometimes we have to, you know, endure challenges. We have to endure things, and I think right now you're being asked to be very much on your toes and dealing with stuff that's coming at you. Deal with it, and you're going to do well. Absolutely,
it will be okay. It'll be better than okay.
Yep, I'm seeing chaos around me, and I'm going, oh well, it'll be okay. It's going to be better than okay. You got this. You got it. Just stay on your toes.
All right.
We'll put that at the end now. So
mix it all in so you can't see it.
We'll just pull it again.
Well, this is for Savannah.
Savannah.
Oh.
Again, I think this is you're quite, you know, a sensitive soul. I get it. But there's a lot of crap going on right now. There really is.
Hosting Uranus forever.
And it doesn't feel good. It's not a feel good time, this right now. I get it. So, deep breath. Think about, you know, the badges you think other people want you to wear. And again, I'm going to throw the pragmatism of my grandfather at you, which says, what you think others think of you actually is none of your business, and you're probably wrong. What matters is truly what you think of yourself. And I think, you know, you've been through a period definitely of you know, almost retreat inside. I think you've been licking your wounds a little bit, but I think it's going to be okay. It's you know, I feel like some like new light through old windows is coming into my mind. Whether that's listen to the album or whoever the hell it was by, I can't remember. I've no idea. Gone in one ear and out the other, or whether to just change your perspective, because there's quite a beautiful stained glass window there. So yeah, it's nice, and it's okay. Don't be troubled. Don't just be what you think others want you to be. Here.
All right. So you know how there's always this kind of theme going on when we come together. We have a theme dictated by astrology, and first pancake marriage. Well, the first pancake is always like the sweaty one that nobody wants to eat.
Oh, thank you for explaining that. That just went. What the hell is she talking about?
All right. So we know we always have a theme dictated by the astrology. But we also have kind of a theme of the oversoul of people listening. So I'm going to share something that I spoke to a dear friend with, and I think that this card depicts it very well. Sometimes when we're not feeling really great physically, or emotionally, or mentally, and I want everybody to listen up, we get in a space of thinking of how much we can't do something. But we can take control over that instead of saying, oh, I'm so sorry, I can't do that. We say, I'm not going to do such and so, right? I'm not going to do that today. And by saying that I'm not, we're taking control over it. If we said I can't, we're victimizing ourselves. I can't. I don't feel well enough. I can't focus. I feel overwhelmed. There's all these horrible negative things that are stopping me. I can't do it. I can't possibly do it. But if we stopped and said, I'm not doing that today, we then have control over those negative things. Even though ultimately we still aren't able to complete that particular task or go to that particular class or respond to that invitation or whatever it is. If we say I'm not, we're saying I recognize that I have the ultimate control. I don't have to try to push myself to a place of such horrible discomfort that I can't enjoy myself anyway. But instead of saying I can't come, say I'm not coming. I can't do that. I'm not doing that. Right? Now, you may feel a little bit out in the cold, left out, whatever, but these still are pentacles. So this is still a card of security and groundedness and steadiness, right? And they're still moving, although they're out in the cold and they seem a little bit stressed out. But I think there's a huge difference between saying, I'm not, and I can't. So I know we all have days where we just really, I'm not even going to put a bra on today, or I'm not going to do whatever. So I'm not is a much more powerful place to start from than I can't. And then you go back to, how could this be easier? How can I regroup and reorganize?
It's a very subtle declaration of your authority and holding on to your sovereignty. And, you say, I'm consciously making the choice not to, rather than I want to, but I can't.
Right. I'm not doing that. I see a place for disaster, so I'm not doing that. It's different than I can't.
Savannah says, I like that. And she said, "Oh goodness, I had a hell of a time getting home."
Oh yeah.
From
Well,
seeing
travel's
Travel's been
all this
entertaining.
craziness. Yeah.
Yes. Thank you. It's all about taking back control of what I can control. So I'm not doing that shit today.
I'm not doing that today.
Yep.
Nope. Sorry, not doing it.
Yep.
Not
Not
going
today,
there.
Satan.
Not accepting that invitation.
All right. Who we got now?
This is card of the week.
Really?
Yep.
It's everybody?
It was Gilda, Anna, Cass, Helena, and Savannah.
Oh, well, there you go. Well, mind you, time has just flown by because it's...
I know, and we have so much going on. Card of the week
Is... Ha-ha!
Harness. Use work.
It's funny, actually, because this is the Minor Arcana Magician card. It really
Look
is.
at that Jupiter-colored hat.
Yep, that hat's got to be noticed, hasn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Look
That's
at my
a heck
hat.
of a hat, man.
I want to be seen.
So, what do you know? What have you learned? What can you focus on? And what magic can you make with that? And maybe you do have to deal with the Muggle world and your spiritual world. We all have to, right? Even though we want to be a witch all day long, we still have to pay the bills. So it's a really wonderful time, and I think this week has a ton of potential. We just need to learn how to juggle it all.
It is. Yeah, there's a lot of energies going on, but, the ships are getting thrown around a bit, but they float, You'll be bounced around like a cork in a bottle, but a cork floats. That's the key, isn't it? And I think that's it. It's all about that water. I mean, and if we look at the internal waters, our emotions are, seas of emotions within there. It's important that we maintain our buoyancy and that we don't allow ourselves to be carried away.
Don't get tsunamied.
Don't
get all the waves
out.
in there.
Don't get swept out to sea. But do remain, keep us, a weather eye and trim your sails accordingly, I think is the key. But, it's again, it's as within, so without, because this sort of shows that continual churn. And the infinite loop that was over the magician's head is appeared here now, and it's actually being juggled with. So again, we're playing with stuff that's the song that never ends, almost, so to speak. What's she hunting for now?
Well, I put my paper of all my notes in here, and then I thought, well, I didn't write that one place down. I have a place. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
It's too fascinating. I'm getting sidetracked myself now. Distractions. But yeah, it's just cope. I think is the thing, but you can cope. That's the good thing. So, yeah, I love this. I love it. I'm just looking at this card upside down and seeing so much on it now.
Oh, Misty just showed up, so we'll have to give her a card really quick too.
Look,
what?
In a way, that almost looks like a self-portrait of Pamela Coleman Smith, doesn't it? Tiny bit. She's got that curly Q sort of whatever.
Okay,
she thinks
Professor.
I'm nuts. Never. Shut up. Where? Pick a card for Misty. I do not know what I have to deserve this kind of.
Ooh. Misty. Things are not as they appear, nor are they otherwise. So if you go back and listen to the beginning, you'll see that I talked about discernment. And I think for you, it's going to be a big deal this week. Opening up things and looking deeper into things and finding the truth and the facts and the reality about things. And doing a little soul searching to figure out the direction you really want to go in. So, you still got a few days to figure out what new moon magic you want to do. But I feel like you've got a lot of things to organize and look through before you get there.
Yeah, things are not as they appear, nor are they necessarily otherwise. That's the weird kind of strangeness. But choose you must, in the words of Yoda. Choices always have to be made. Just remember, though, this isn't a one-shot deal. This isn't the only choice you're ever going to make in your life, and that's the end of it.
You'll get wisdom from it, whether it was a good choice or not.
It may be a learning experience. You know, but that's the key. You know, so long as we continue to learn, that's good. But yeah, don't get too hung up about, you know, into the state of utter procrastination where you're just not moving forwards because you're, oh gosh, am I really making the right decision here? Am I really making the right decision here? And you know, you might be, you might not be. But you can change, you know, I think, there may be two paths you can take, but you can always change the road you're on, is the thing in the long run, isn't it? That's
Thank
it.
you, Amanda. That's very sweet.
Yeah, so
That's
there you
what
go.
we want to help people. That's what, you know, that's kind of what our life's been dedicated to. A
Oh,
life in service.
well, thank you for the kind words. Tell your friends all about us, because we're trying to be less of a well-kept secret.
I don't know how to get people to figure out the store is like the most amazing place on earth.
We've even got a huge 6-foot pussycat now. We still haven't got a name. If you haven't chimed in on naming the
We're getting
pussycat,
close. We're getting close.
well, we might just run a poll or something. But it's yeah,
Right.
that's us, I guess.
That's us, I guess. Off to the races we all go.
Yes.
Have a magical week.
Yes.
Remember, Virgo new moon magic is very powerful. Very great time to plant the seeds.
But you got to do it. You got to do it. Do mash that like button. Do tell your friends all about us.
Peace and bright blessings.
Be blessed.
everybody.
Have a beautiful week, and thank you for your time. It was so nice to be here today. Much love and blessings. See you later. Bye.
Bye.
All right.